Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Kim Leskovic, a Zen Babe business builder, and I am on here today to talk to you guys about the danger of fragrances and a little bit about why we diffuse instead of maybe choosing other household items that I'll talk about. But for those of you that are new to me, I know I jump in and out of this group a little bit, but you can find me at happyhighestyou.com. It's my mission to really help people find ways and essential oils and yoga and meditation, ways to just feel really empowered and able to find ways to really get to know yourself through these essential oils and through yoga and meditation. So I'm honored to be hopping on here. Hi, Kylie. Say hi if you're coming in. And I'm just so excited that we're able to provide you guys with this diffuser challenge. I think it's really, I've already noticed like a shift in my mood from just going to the little recipes and picking one out. Like I have positive energy in my diffuser right now from today's day 3 recipes, and it's just a great way to kind of get to know your oils, get to try different recipes, and also just learn, experience the benefits of diffusing, like how you feel physically, how you feel mentally, your focus, your mood. So it's really cool if you're participating with us. I'm really, really excited that we're doing it. So today we're going to be talking about fragrances and a little bit of background about why I was excited to talk about this topic is because it was one of the things that really drew me into Alicia when she first started talking about essential oils and minimalistic living and non-toxic living. It really drew me in because I not only wanted to understand myself better with essential oils, but I also wanted to like dive into what was in my products and educate myself on what I was eating, what I was putting in my home, as well as just kind of starting fresh. I think that's what she opened my eyes to, and what essential oils really opened my eyes to as well, was that there is this different way of living that can feel good, that can feel light, and that can really prevent like dis-ease in our home and in our bodies. And so that's why I kind of chose this topic, is because before essential oils, I was someone who struggled with headaches. I struggled with allergies, respiratory issues, like trouble breathing, trouble focusing. And so the more I dived into fragrance, as I was doing some research to come on here and talk to you guys about, the more I learned that fragrance as an ingredient can really cause a lot of these headaches and allergies and trouble breathing. And so the article I linked, I might have to redo the caption, but the article I linked, its title is "Fragrance is the New Secondhand Smoke." So it's really eye-opening to really dive into what the word fragrance means, and to dive into the health and wellness industry of like products and cosmetics, and kind of how those are regulated, because what I've found is that it's not regulated at all, and that companies can kind of choose what they consider safe and put that into their products. And so what I found doing my research is it's really important that we find companies that we trust, and we do our research, and we understand the type of testing that goes into these essential oils, that goes into our makeup, that goes into our shampoo and our conditioner. And I literally remember the live video Alicia did too, where she was just talking about essential oils and kind of getting rid of candles and getting rid of this and that. And it just stemmed from diffusing to makeup and all of that stuff for me too. And so it was a really eye-opening experience to know that to start with diffusing and getting rid of toxins in your air really opens the doors for other areas of your life as well. And so I'll go through with how you can take small steps so it's not overwhelming, and stuff like that as well. But Yeah, so basically, through my research, I found that women use about 12 products on average a day. And so I think back to like college and how I was buying like body wash, shampoo, like shaving cream, like all these different products. And I was putting them on my skin and putting them on my body, as well as like, I know body sprays are popular and Febreze and air fresheners. So, um, things in your home that might contain fragrance that you might want to consider looking at the label and doing your research a little further are scented candles, dryer sheets, air fresheners, potpourri, fragrance sprays, perfume, and scented hand and body lotion. So I grew up with all of these things, like many of us. And I slowly, as I moved from college and got my own apartment, started noticing like the things I didn't necessarily need and the things that really filled up my home with good, positive energy. And so I also found that 75% of chemicals in perfumes and fragrances are endocrine disruptors, and these are called phthalates. And so these phthalates can really be harmful to our endocrine systems. They are linked to causing cancer, birth defects, reproductive harm, and it's also just important to know what's in our products as well as like our cleaning supplies. And then also, I found that the US restricts 11 chemicals while Europe restricts 1100. And we still use some of these chemicals that Europe restricts in our US products today, which is super concerning and something we really have to take back into our own hands in our own research and being our own detective and kind of looking into what ingredients are included on our labels. Going further, and so yeah, just really learning to find companies you trust, and that's where I came across doTERRA and where I came across like makeup companies that I was really passionate about and kind of learned their mission and what this like 1100 number really meant. And so I think it just comes to like finding those for yourself as well as just learning from your friends and talking about it and bringing awareness around the topic. You can also, a great website that I like to go to too to look up safe ingredients for like sunscreen or bug spray, etc. If doTERRA doesn't necessarily have it and you don't want to make your own, you can go to ewg.org. And there's, I know I did that for like sunscreen, and it kind of rates on a scale of 1 to 10 how clean the ingredients are in that product. And so actually doTERRA's like spa line is all between 1 and 2. So like the lowest, which is really, really good and clean, which is really reassuring. So yeah, just to kind of make this simpler, Kylie, I started kind of looking into like Whole Foods and stuff too, but again, with just the wanting to trust a company, I like fell in love with how doTERRA kind of does things and how we know because we sign up with someone, we really trust that what they're using is benefiting them. And I just love how they do that as like a business model where they have advocates like helping people learn that this is a trusted brand, that this is high quality, that there is third-party testing, and these are really safe ingredients. And so I actually know someone that sells Beauty Counter. So if you want some connections, I can hook you up there too. But again, just that like friend connection and trust, and then also not only just trusting like your friend, but also like doing your own research on the website and kind of looking at their backstory of their mission and their statistics. And that's kind of how I chose to use some of the Beauty Counter products as well. But yeah, they also have that statistic of the 1100 chemicals in Europe. But yeah, and so some takeaways that you can, that you might find helpful for this too, is that it can be overwhelming to be like, oh my gosh, I have all these candles in my home. I have all these cleaning supplies that I just bought. But I think it's really, again, just like the prevention and awareness, like I said, especially like essential oils. It took me a while to just like ditch my old ones and to ditch some of my hair products. And it takes adjustment. And if you're not someone that just wants to go throughout your home and like toss everything, it's okay. Just be patient with yourself, but also going forward, make sure you're reading your labels, you're reading into a little bit more about what fragrance really means. And then also, if you realize and you haven't opened your product, you can always like go and return it. And step 3, so I'm reading 4 steps here. So the first one's read your labels. The second one's return. The third is ditch. So if you are just like, I'm ready to start new, I'm ready to start fresh, I don't even want to like consider putting these on my body again, because that's the point that I got to too. It was like, I don't even use these other essential oils, so why am I letting them take up space? And so I ended up just throwing them out, throwing out the supplements I don't use, throwing out the cleaning products. But then lastly, just choose. Choose how you want to live your lifestyle. Choose better things for yourself. Invest in the non-toxic products. Invest in the fragrance-free products. And also just, again, with like the labels, even in the food industry, they can say it's natural, but that's not always the case. And I know in this article too that's linked, it talks about how there are fragrance-free products, but then you kind of look more into the ingredients, and that's not always the case too. So really just finding companies that you really trust, sticking with them, and that's what I kind of found. So I really trust doTERRA, so I'm going to try to like make my cleaning products. I'm going to try to use their laundry detergent, diffuse instead of using candles, diffuse instead of like needing room sprays and stuff like that. You can make actual room sprays as well, or like body sprays, which is really nice. And then, yeah, so actually, like Kylie asked about makeup, and I just kind of want to rewind because, like I said, this was a learning process, and it's not like I just overhauled all my stuff at once. But I started with my makeup because, one, I don't buy makeup that often because I like rarely wear it, I find. And so I was like, whatever, this is probably old. So I just transitioned to Beauty Counter. And then also something that was really easy for me and fun was to make the do-it-yourself cleaning supplies for with doTERRA oils. And then also, I think candles were probably, I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but candles were kind of a big transition for me. That was probably one of my hardest, as well as my hair care products, because they're so expensive, or can be seen as so expensive. But for some reason, I associated candles with like coziness and decor, and I loved the ambiance feel. It'll be funny if Alicia watches this. She'll be like, you can totally get the ambiance from a diffuser with the light. But a way to transition, if you are really into candles too, is to get a salt lamp. It really adds a nice ambiance feel, again, with the diffuser light. And you don't really need a candle other than like the light if you are diffusing, and you get that aroma from that way. And so aside from the decor, I love to just like decorate with books and stuff that like really fill my home with things that just look nice. And plants were another thing that I could kind of substitute. So you find ways to be like, okay, candles are associated with comfort. So what else that's really good for me can I associate with that feeling where it brings me comfort, where it brings me like hominess? And I found you'll find that you can kind of fill your home in the place of where those candles were, if that's making sense. I feel like I'm rambling right now. Candles are so hard. I know, Rachel. And I do still have one actually in the bathroom. But again, you can even like make your own candles. I know beeswax is actually a really good wax. And again, if you find an essential oil or like candle company that you really trust and that you know they're not putting fragrances or harmful synthetics in it, and you can be sure that it's from someone you trust, then by all means use that candle. But I think, again, it's just important to know your ingredients, know there are other options, because I had no idea that these were so harmful. And I guess it's also just spreading that awareness too, about not only like fragrances, but also just in food and your whole lifestyle, about just what to be cautious on and what's regulated and stuff like that. So again, just the 4 takeaways again, because I'm kind of getting sidetracked. Read your labels, return it, don't feel bad about it. And it might take you a long time, but again, if you realize how much these are causing harm to your life, then the returning is worth it. And then 3rd, ditch the products you just aren't using and that are just taking up space, but also really harming your skin and your air. And then 4, just choose better. Be patient with yourself. But just get in the practice of going through the aisles and asking yourself, do I really need this? What's in it? And how can I choose? Is this something that's really going to like feed my soul, fill my home with joy, and health and wellness? And I think that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And then the 2 most common like chemicals to look out for too are, again, the phthalates, which is PHTHALATES, and I can put that in the comments, as well as aldehydes. So those are kind of ones that you want to be on the lookout for in your ingredients. And I remember, along with fragrances, I also went through a lot of like my hair and skincare products that would say perfume. A lot of times that's super harmful as well. So again, ewg.org is great. And then I encourage you to read the little article I attached. And I hope this gave you guys some insight. Happy diffusing. Thanks for watching. And I will talk to you guys soon.